Hello everyone, my name is Hoshino. Today is October 24th, 2022. After the first part of the interview last month, we are continuing with our interview with Cobra to talk about the latest situation update, Ascension Plan, and other topics. Without further ado, I will let Terry-san to ask the questions.
It has been really intense month since the last interview a month ago, but since then, we feel there are some positive signs. Would you be able to give us an update on the latest situation?
I will give an update on the blog directly when it's time to give an update.
I see, but do you have anything to say at this moment?
No.
Okay, understood. The next question, how is the implant removal process going? Is it close to completion?
There is some progress, but there is still quite much to go. So it is still far from completion. Implant removal process is the most challenging part of the whole operation, and it's proceeding nicely, but there is still some time to go.
I see. So do you have any estimation how long it may take more?
It's classified.
Okay, understood. Okay, the next question. What does the death of the Spider-Man video on the October 13th update suggest? Does it mean that removal of the chimera?
Yes, certain key members of that chimera group have been removed. Some of those spiders have been removed finally.
I see. So that means that the video was something connected to chimera.
Yeah.
I see. Great. Thank you very much. The next question. Would you agree that we as a surface population are ready for that first contact now?
I would say a very small percentage of the most awakened star people on the planet are ready for the first contact. Everybody else is not ready and will never be ready. It will just happen, and they will be forced to face the reality as it unfolds. They will be presented with the facts as they unfold. It is the only way to go. We cannot wait for everybody to wake up. It's not possible. So the first contact will happen as soon as it is physically safe for the operation to start, and then it will happen.
I see.
The critical mass of light workers have decided and voted for the first contact, and it will happen.
I see. Great. So that means that it could really happen, for example, within this year?
I cannot comment on that, but I would say as soon as it is safe, as soon as the dark threads are removed, the first contact will happen according to the entry protocols or the contact dish project. All that will be discussed, and the best course of action will be taken regarding the situation at that particular moment, how things will unfold. But yes, the first contact is in plans, and it will happen as soon as it is physically safe to do so.
Wow, great. Thank you very much. The next question. In the book Magic Presence, authored by Godfrey Ray King, it is mentioned that a device known as atomic accelerator can boost a physical body into a superconductive state. Is this device the same as Ascension chamber?
Yes.
Oh, really? So that means such chamber already exists physically?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
I see. So that means, can we use it?
Those who are ready for their ascension process will be able to use it after the event when they are at that state of consciousness that allows their physical body and their consciousness to undergo that process.
I see. So that means we can use that chamber only after the events, not before.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
I see. Understood. Thank you. And will some members of the surface population join the underground Agautan network instead of moving to the Pleiades or reaching Ascension?
Okay, very, very few members of the surface population are planned to go underground into the Agautan network. Most of them will stay on the surface, face their own fears, face their own psychological issues until the polar shift. Also, a very small percentage of people will reach ascension on the planet or move to other star systems. The majority of humanity will just go through I would say, awakening and clearing process.
I see. So what are the differences for the people who maybe go into Agautan network and go into ascension?
Okay, people can ascend also going through the Agautan network, but entering there needs to be a very specific mission or a very specific purpose. The Agautan network is not open to accepting surface population due to argon infection, which is quite severe on the surface. So very, very few people are ready to or able to go there or reach the requirements.
I see. Okay, understood. Thank you very much. Is soul-family relationship indispensable to our ascension process?
It is not a requirement for the ascension, but it is something that happens naturally as the vibrational frequency is rising.
I see. So that means the soul-family relationship may be just useful for the ascension process.
Yes.
Okay, great. When we are on our way towards ascension, how can we tell the difference between a true soulmate twin flame relationship and a romance scam?
When your connection with your higher guidance is strong enough, you will know. Until then, you cannot know.
Okay, all right. That's true. The next question, will New Atlantis be established after the global tsunami?
It will be established after the polar shift, and I would say fragments of New Atlantis will be established before that in Islands of Light.
I see. So if so, who will be creating and forming the New Atlantis on Earth?
The awakened, the most awakened population and other advanced races which will come here after the first contact. It will be a co-creation.
I see. After the first contact means that even before the event?
No, after the event.
I see. Okay, understood.
Before the event, we will have the same old boring reality we are experiencing now.
Okay, understood. So it does make sense. So will there still be the second wave and the third wave for collective ascension? If so, will they happen after the galactic tsunami?
This is all being planned after the polar shift. It is simply not enough time and not enough consciousness on the planet for something like that to happen before that.
I see. So, but after the first contact, after the event, there will be a tsunami for a few years later, for example. Then, so there are not so much time available.
There is not enough time, exactly. There is just time for one wave, which can happen then after the moment of the polar shift.
I see. So,
the galactic pulse.
I see. So that means that probably there won't be any second and third waves.
I said after the polar shift, yes, but not before.
I see. Okay, understood. Thank you. The next question, International Golden Age Group organizes online healing sessions with a group of volunteers, healers, who have been initiated into level 2 Ascended Masters Ray and Stellar Rays. And these sessions have been held for several years, and so far, we can gather more than 2,000 people every month. Can you describe briefly the benefits and advantages of the healing of Ascended Master Rays and Stellar Rays and their purposes?
Okay, Ascended Master Rays channel the energies of various Ascended Masters or Ascended Beings, and Stellar Rays channel the energies of various advanced star systems. And those energies are very healing, and all those healers who have been initiated are able to channel those energies in a group healing sessions that can be quite effective and quite powerful. So this is a very beneficial healing process that happens every month.
Yeah, in relation to this, you mentioned that Ascended Master has not been able to contact the surface population due to the security reasons. Then why such an Ascended Master rays transmission to the surface population has been allowed without a huge attack?
Because it is not a direct connection, it is just a channeling of energies. It is not a physical materialization or presence of the ascended being. It is just energy transmission, which is not as powerful and not as intense and not as direct as a direct physical intervention of the ascended master.
I see, that makes sense. Thank you. So many light workers said that the healing of level 2 Ascended Master rays and Stellar rays is very powerful. But these rays originated from the teaching of mystery schools? When and how did you get initiated into these rays?
These teachings originate from Archangel Metatron, and he is the source of all this information and that transmission. So he is the being overseeing the whole process.
So that means that you received the initiation from him?
I cannot answer this question.
Okay, understood. The next question, is it possible for level 2 healers to be initiated into level 3?
There is no level 3.
Oh, I see. That's maximum. Okay. Okay. What is the major difference between the white flame of An and the violet flame in terms of their energetic traits?
The purpose of the violet flame is purification and transformation. The purpose of the white flame is anchoring of pure light of oneness.
I see. Okay, understood. Do archons make people sign more negative soul contracts while they are asleep? If so, how can we prevent this situation?
This happens very rarely. Most contracts have been signed a long time ago, and it's time to cancel them.
All right, understood. Thank you. And whenever there is a serious disaster, some people always say that this is Nostradamus had predicted this. Is his prediction truly credible? So if so, what year is the limit for his prediction?
Those predictions are not extremely credible. This is just there was one possible perspective of how things could turn out. So I would not give too much attention to this.
Okay, all right. That's understandable. Thank you very much. That's the end of my questions. So next question will be made by Patrick. Patrick?
Yes, hello, Cobra. Now here's my turn. My first question is, Ryo Tatsuki is a Japanese female artist who has several clear prophetic dreams. Her reprinted manga, The Future I Saw, there will be a huge tsunami in 2025. Has she received any guidance from the light forces?
I would not say directly from the light forces, but she had some spiritual guides that were giving her possible outcomes as they were in that particular timeline at that time.
Okay, the next one. Among members of the Galactic Confederation, about 60 to 80% of them are humanoid. The rest of them are non-humanoid and even androids. Is it possible for non-humanoid races and androids to reach ascension and even become highly advanced masters?
Yes, of course, non-humanoid races can reach ascension as well, and very rarely there are life forms with consciousness in android bodies that can reach ascension to bodies. Is really rare. It's not common.
Okay, next one. 2 years ago, you said that some Confederation commanders were compromised by Dracos because they feared that their twin souls may be tortured by the Dracos. Can you explain why they has this concern? Is this still an issue now?
It is not a concern. It was something that was really happening, and they were under great stress because of this and great pressure. This issue has been mostly resolved.
Okay, so couldn't those commanders report to their supervisors that they got threatened by the Dracos or even sacrifice their loved ones for the greater good?
They could report this to the supervisors, but that would not solve the issue. And of course, they would never sacrifice their loved ones.
Okay, the next one. Galactic Confederation technology to reserve its members and heal their soul trauma. So if that's the case, would it be better for those Pleiadians to commit suicide as soon as they got kidnapped and then get themselves revived in a safe place?
Actually, many of them have left their bodies, and when they were able to escape also on the astral plane and be safely evacuated from the area, but some of them were in the areas that even if they would escape from the physical body, they would be captured again on the etherical plasma plane and brought back. So it was not an option for them.
Okay, so the next one. Some people might ask the following question when they take a part in the liberation plan. If the Earth is the last place where darkness remains, overall, there should be more pros and cons, even if the Earth cannot help but get annihilated along with the dark forces. Can you explain why the Galactic Confederation and even the light forces in the local group are willing to invest enormous amounts of time and efforts in liberating the Earth?
Well, it is simply if they would annihilate the planet along with the dark forces, the anomaly would not be removed, and in the next cosmic cycle, the darkness could be created again. So now the light forces wish to erase and eradicate evil forever. It has to be done. It has to be completely removed, never to happen again. So this is the final clearing operation forever.
Oh, I see. Thank you. Okay, next one. You mentioned that Mjolnir technology is a quantum cannon technology that emits a strong scalar field through the quantum form. It can transform all uncertain waveforms into physical matter. So can we apply this positive scalar technology on top of what light mandalas can offer to our manifestation process and help planetary liberation?
Actually, there is no protocol yet for individual use of Mjolnir technology, but the light forces are developing a protocol that also the light workers will be able to use in the future. So when this is ready, when that protocol is developed, I will publish it on my blog.
Oh, very, very nice. Okay, the next one. Will the mystery schools be re-established before or after the first contact?
Around the same time.
Oh, okay. So next, what are the requirements we have to meet in order to be initiated into a mystery school?
A yearning to unite with your higher self, dedication to your spiritual growth, and especially self-honesty. And also a certain degree of common sense, of course, which is quite lacking on the surface of the planet right now.
Okay. So the next one. It is said that magic is just science that humanity doesn't understand yet. So its population will have access to very advanced technologies after the first contact. Is it still necessary for people to study occult knowledge after at mystery schools?
For those who feel guided, yes, of course, why not?
Okay. Cool. Okay, and the next one. Qigong, by the Taoist definition, is also known as inner alchemy. Is Ascension the ultimate goal for both Eastern alchemy and Western alchemy?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Next one. The individual goal of Tao is to transform a human into an immortal being known as Xian. Is becoming a Xian also the same as Ascension?
I would say roughly it's the same thing, but technically speaking, Xian or immortal stage is the same stage as the Arhat initiation in the Western terms. So it is, I would say, a very advanced stage towards the Ascension.
Okay. But it's still not Ascension yet, right?
It is a very advanced stage towards the Ascension, I would say.
Okay. So next one. The Secret of Golden Flower is allegedly a guidebook to immortality written by Lu Dongbing. So does the Blue Dragon know and recommend this book?
You have to ask the Blue Dragons about that.
Okay. Next one. Taoist literature has many records about Eastern gods, goddess, and immortals. Are most of those beings living in an Eastern Agartha network?
Most of those beings have ascended already and have left the planet, and some of them are definitely living in the Eastern Agartha network.
Okay. So next one. Will they come out to the surface after the event re-enlighten the surf population, especially people living in China and Taiwan?
At some point, yes, they are planning to come to the surface when the conditions are right. And those who are ascended might manifest in their light bodies and also enlighten the surface population when the time is right.
Oh, very good. So next one. We know there are goddess ley lines and vortices. So can you elaborate on dragon ley lines and vortices, especially their formation and purposes?
Dragon ley lines and vortices are embodying the divine masculine principle, and information about them is not yet to be revealed to the surface population because the situation is not ready yet.
Okay, so the dragon ley line the same as the dragon vein in feng shui?
Yeah, it is very similar.
Oh, very good. So next one. In terms of percentage, how many active dragon ley lines and vortices are there around the world?
Most of them are not activated yet. They are in dormant state, precisely for the reason I said before. The time is not right yet.
Okay, so how can we assist the activation of dragon ley lines and vortices?
When the time is right, assistance and guidelines will be given.
Okay, so here's my final question. Can you please introduce some important dragon ley lines and vortices to our audience?
I cannot do so because it's not time yet. The only thing I can say that most of the key Dragon rail lines, especially in mainland China, are connected to main mountain ranges in China.
Okay, so
That's as much as I can say at the moment.
okay, thank you very much. Now I will switch my host to Jedi.
Okay, the next one is can we use those energy spots to connect with the Big Dipper above over the Akasan network below the Earth's surface?
Yes, if you know how to do that.
And do you have any suggestion to do that?
Not yet. As I said before, it's not time yet. This situation needs to be ready for that.
Okay, got it. Next, have sentient beings existed ever since the first cosmic cycle? If not, when did the source create the first sentient being?
Okay, sentient beings existed since the first cosmic cycle, but those first beings were, I would say, in a way very highly advanced, but on the other way, very unexperienced. So this is when the whole process started.
Okay. And next, did the source create a sentient being in the highest plane and then gradually precipitate to the physical plane?
Exactly.
Okay, good. Next, are there any galactic confederation based on Triton?
Yes.
Okay. Next, have the native reptilians factions on Earth signed any treaty with the Surface Human Alliance and over underground Agathan factions?
There were certain treaties, but they were not widely respected. And those treaties were signed with certain factions and not by other factions. So they were not holding. Those treaties were not having any real practical meaning.
Okay. Next, are there any positive native reptilian factions supporting the planetary liberation?
There are, but there are very few.
Okay. Next, as most part of the world are lifting travel bans, it is now easier for Sisterhood of the Rose group to hold weekly physical meetings. What can group do or persist in order to anchor goddess energy?
What is the most important is for the groups to really start meeting physically again, which is now possible almost everywhere. And then to do the few main meditations we have published many times to anchor the goddess energy. And then after that, whatever they can do to anchor goddess energy by their own guidance.
Oh, got it. Next, some people have found it difficult to get enough members for creating their own sisterhood groups. Do you have any advice on how people can raise goddess awareness in their local areas?
They can start publishing articles about goddess energy in their local community in areas which are most open to this. They can create a Facebook group. They can publish an article in a local spiritual magazine. They can produce a video. So it is time for those who can to start raising that frequency in their local areas, and that will attract members who are ready for such a group.
Okay, good ideas. Next, many people have formed online groups on Zoom for meeting and group meditations. Would you agree that it is a good way to anchor light and the goddess energy?
It is better than nothing, but physical meetings are far more powerful and far more important.
Okay, got it. Next, before the evacuation, will people be given enough time and information before the life forces carry this out?
Yes, of course, after the event, people will begin to understand what the planetary situation is and what the overall plan is. And they will have some time to process that information, and most people will be able to process that information. If people have survived lockdowns, they can survive anything else.
Okay, good. And how will people receive the information?
As I said, most people will be able to process it quite easily. I mean, some people will have trouble with that, but the process needs to continue. We cannot wait for anybody else to be ready because the whole process is taking far too long already.
Okay. Okay, the next part is about future plans. Is there any major meditation activation from the end of this year to the next spring?
I cannot answer this question.
Okay, got it. Currently, is there a possibility for the Delta option to take place?
It is very unlikely.
Okay. Next, when martial law is declared worldwide at the time of the event, will traffic control, curfew, and the lockdowns take place all over the world?
Yes.
Okay. If the event happens and there is traffic control in my area, what should I do if I am in my car or on public transport?
Okay, the best course of action is, if you can, to go home. If you cannot, you can stay in the vehicle or find a nearby accommodation. You receive guidance from the local authorities. Local authorities will be receiving guidance how to proceed with the whole operation, practically what to do in that particular moment, in that particular location. So you will know what to do at that moment.
Okay. And if the event happens while I am on a ship or an airplane, will my ship or plane reach the destination as usual?
Most likely not. Probably there will be emergency landings at the nearest airports or ports. So most of the traffic, air traffic, will be down at the moment of the event. So planes will land at their earliest convenience safely at the nearest airport, wherever they are.
Okay, understand. And next, how will the life forces secure the global food and medical supplies during martial law?
It is very similar to what happened during the lockdowns.
Okay, got it. You mentioned that the official first contact will take place at the headquarters of the United Nations 1 year after the event. Will this schedule be shortened to less than a year if the life forces consider the current liberation process?
Yes, most likely it will be much less than a year, because everything is being accelerated. So when things begin to happen, they will happen very fast.
Okay.
And very intensively.
Wow, that's really a good news. Okay, next one. After the first contact, many ascended master will instruct the service population with their tangible hologram bodies. We have a list of the most famous ascended masters, and we would like to ask you if we might be able to see them face to face in the future.
Yes, all of them, all of those from your list will most likely be able to show themselves when the time is right, after the first contact.
Okay, just like I was say this name. Okay.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Yes. Yeah.
I will not give individual comments. You can read the list, but I would say most of those beings will be able to show themselves and will have a plan to show themselves to the surface population when the time is right.
Okay, that's a very good news for many people. Okay, and I still have a question: is do you have any plan for the global conference in next year?
I cannot answer this question.
Okay, understand. All right, we don't have questions, so as we are going to end this interview, is there anything you would like to tell our audience?
Yes. Actually, we all know that this process has been going on for too long and it went too far. And the reason for this is there is simply too much darkness, and it takes time to process all that darkness. The key is to keep holding the light, keep anchoring the light, never giving up, and using common sense.
Okay, thank you so much for the part 2 interview. Thank you again. We love you.
Thank you very much for this invitation, and victory of light.
And victory of light.
Victory of light. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.